community, our hometown. This is Kearney Live on 102.7 FM, our hometown radio station. Kearney Live is presented by Kearney Trust, 310 West 92 Highway in Kearney, 816-628-6666. And now here's the hosts of Kearney Live, Mike Davis and Jim Dickerson.
Yep. That's our live studio audience. Welcome to Kearney Live, the most important program on the planet. Did you like that, Brian?
Yeah, that was great.
That was fun. I'm glad you had,
I appreciate that. Yeah,
yes,
that was great.
I'm glad you had your microphone on. And yes, and I am your host of said show, Mike Davis. That's my name. Right? Thank you. But more importantly.
More?
Yes, by a long shot. This guy that I'm about to introduce is kind of a big deal.
Ooh.
And he'll tell you that. He will actually, he will go out of his way and tell you.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Right? And I think you all know who I'm talking about. Mr. Jim Dickerson. Welcome to the show, Jim. There it is. That's our live studio audience. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Let's be seated. You may be seated. Thank you. You may be seated. I don't know why you're saying thank you. They're clapping for me.
Was there any doubt?
I'm looking for the day that we can actually bring them back in here. Those people clearly
Yes.
are in the room across the hall, and and we sell out every week. It's
Right.
outstanding.
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Does our landlord know that we're using that space over there?
Yeah, don't
tell him that. I also heard a rumor, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but our days of doing this program in this room are numbered.
Numbered? What do you mean by that?
I feel like we have been, no, I say we because Mike and I had nothing to do with it. I feel like some people have been working on a new TV studio that might make an appearance at the beginning of next year. Were you apprised of this?
Right. Yeah. I have heard tell. Yes.
And I've also
seen
I have
bit.
seen
Right.
it, and it is very nice. It is very nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And thank you, Brian, for the work that you've put in onto that.
You're welcome.
For everyone out there, by the way, we haven't seen you since Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. And I think I'm supposed to talk about a few things coming up. Coming up this Saturday, and we're going to talk to Kurt a little bit later in the show, but coming up this Saturday, don't forget in Kearney here, we have the Christmas parade, and all the information and the details of the times and everything else are on our website, 1027kearneymo.com. You can go to our Facebook page and look it up as well. I do know there's a couple of people, Santa Claus is going to be there. He will be in the parade, and we'll talk about it later, but I'm sure he'll be talking to the kids, the boys and girls. I did hear some bad news, though, about the parade.
Oh, no.
It's my understanding that the Grinch is trying to work his way into the
Infiltrate.
Yes. So be on the lookout for him because I heard he might try to show up. Also, on the 22nd, I keep messing that up and I keep getting yelled at. On the 22nd, Santa Claus will be here in the studio. And he'll be taking phone calls live. So if you want to talk to Santa, we'll have the phone number up and we'll put it up before. But he'll be here in the studio on the 22nd. Now, a question that came to me, Brian, was, are the kids out of school on the 22nd?
Yes, I think they are out somewhere around the 17th or the 19th.
Uh-huh.
Kids these days.
I was going to say, why didn't they do that when I was in school?
I don't know. We went up to the 24th.
Yeah, I want to say we were,
They came back the 26th.
Get off my lawn.
I was watching It's a Wonderful Life the other day, and the guy's in the office working on the 24th when he goes, I want to get back to my family. But anyway, so yeah, join us on the 22nd, Santa Claus, but more importantly, join us for the parade. Stick with us on the bottom half of the hour. We'll be talking to Kurt from the firehouse, and not the fire department, but
Kurt Hamilton of the Kearney Enrichment Council.
Thank you.
You're
for that.
welcome.
But it's the firehouse,
That's
right?
what I do.
You're at the firehouse, the old firehouse. Kurt will be here, and we'll talk to him about the parade and everything else. Also, just want to give a quick shout-out to Coach Josh Gray. As you know, he stepped down as the head coach of the Kearney football team. We just wanted to say thanks to Coach Gray for all the support he's given us here at the station. His show, the Coach Gray Show, for several years in a row was the second highest-rated show we had here at the station. So good luck to him in the future. I don't know what he's doing coming up, but
we'll find out. As we learn these things, we'll keep you posted.
But just wanted to say thank you to Coach Gray and his wife Mindy for all the support they've given us over the years, and good luck in the future, and good holidays to you. And I think that's all I have. Did I miss anything?
I think you nailed it, Jim.
Then
Good
I'll
job.
Throw it back to you, Mike. Take her away.
I want to introduce, if I can, this is a real interesting guest, and we talked to our guest off the air because, frankly, Jim and I both were a little puzzled as to why this man was here, and to please explain how this thing works that we're about to talk about. First of all, let me introduce Pastor Jonathan Hayashi, and yes, and we're going to call him Jonathan, and he is the pastor at Northern Hills Baptist Church. And you are here to promote a very cool, what is called a Journey to Bethlehem, which is a fully immersive experience of the birth of Christ. And this is on December 11th and 12th, and it's located at your church in Holt, Missouri, and it's 17211 Northeast 180th Street in Holt. Jonathan, tell us what this thing is all about. Explain to us, like we're five, because you already did that once for me, how this plays out. It sounds fascinating.
Well, thanks so much for allowing me to be here with you guys. I'm just excited about this whole journey to Bethlehem. So the Journey to Bethlehem is where people can come and walk the road and experience the story. What I mean by that is, it's not just a typical nativity scene they see. It's not like a Christmas cantata that you sit down and watch. But we have guides along with our property on our campus where they are able to experience the actual story as if they were there on the journey to Bethlehem. So they get to encounter first with the map makers, and they would give the directions where to go. They will encounter then Roman soldiers who are acting, and then shepherds, wise men, and then the angels who are singing Gloria in excelsis Deo. Walk through the marketplace, and finally they go to the inn, and they find there Mary and Joseph and the child, Jesus, who is mild and wrapped in cloth there, and to experience the whole story.
Now, these are actors who are playing these roles, and you indicated to me that off the air that you're not even going to have it won't be lit in a traditional way, and because you want to give the full, as closely as possible, a sense of reality of what it might have been. So you're going to have tiki torches out there, and explain a little further about these folks that are the actors that are playing these roles of the characters in the actual story of the birth of Christ.
Yeah, all those who are part of this production, let's say, or volunteers who are members of Northern Hills Baptist Church, and they're so excited. We had a dress rehearsal last night, and many of them were bundled up and getting ready with their costumes and so forth. We're going to avoid as much using that electricity of lights that we have, because we want them to see what it was like to walk the road, and what it was like. So we're going to have actual sheep, lambs. They're going to be around the places. The shepherd's going to be there, and and the Roman soldiers with their swords and their spears as well. Yeah, so many of them have memorized lines, which were lines from Scripture. And I was just kind of jokingly saying they're not going to have their cell phones because they didn't have cell phones back then. So they're going to be acting as if they were at that time 2,000 years ago.
So it's good that the Roman soldier won't pause to take a call or text somebody. Will they be able to? So will they interact with the people who come through it? So if I ask a question, they would be able to answer.
Yes. So we're going to have two people who are going to be leading we call them the guides, and they want to say, "Shalom. We are from the tribe and the family of Jesse," and they're the ones who are going to be interacting and talking. And I want to say, "Be careful. There's Romans down this road. There may be bandits and thieves, and let's carefully go through this so we can safely get to Bethlehem, where we can find a place to find an inn and safety." So. Yeah, so you get to interact that way, and some of the shepherds are little children as well, or little shepherds who are running around. Actually, my daughter's one of them as well. She's 6 years old, and she's so thrilled and excited about it. So yeah, there are going to be some interactions you get to do with some of our actors.
So this begins at you said outdoor journeys depart between 5 and 8 p.m. and admission is free. It doesn't cost you a thing, and as people, you indicated, and obviously this is all outside. You've got about 10 acres at your church, correct? So this all takes place outside, and it will accommodate pretty much anybody of any age or ability to sort of walk through this thing. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. And we're really trying to target for young families, just for them to experience and to see it. It's hard for little children to just kind of sit still through an hour and a half, maybe, the Nutcracker show or the Christmas story. But we wanted them to, in a tangible way, to feel, sense, see the smell, even the warmth. People who are outside or around the campfire, the Roman soldiers are roasting some, chicken at the same time.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Can we eat the chicken?
You had me at roasted chicken.
I was going to say, now I'm excited.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about this too, just so people understand. It's kind of self-guided, but it's not. In other words, you wouldn't stroll through just on your own. Do they, as you show up, do they take you in groups at certain times? I know Mike gave the general times, but do they take you in groups through there in time?
Yeah, that's a great question. So at the beginning, we have our gym that's available. We're going to open that up, and we have a music ministry team that's going to be singing some of the favorite Christmas carols, the old times, and there's a children's choir that's going to be leading us as well, some solos and so forth. And what's going to happen, we're going to time it out so that it doesn't get trafficked. But every 10, 15 minutes or so, or maybe even less than that, we're going to take about 10 to 15 people together on the journey to go out and walk through the journey. And those two guides are going to rotate through and get through all the groups.
How long, you said you had a dress rehearsal last night. How long does it take, do you think, to get a group through there?
Yeah, we kind of timed through that. I think, really it takes maybe 30 minutes from the point that our greeters will welcome people to come in, and they get to experience music and singing and so forth. They go on the journey. The outside is it's the best part. And then they come inside, and then we have, hot chocolate, coffee, cookies available that we'll serve for people in the community as well. Okay. So yeah, the whole experience, maybe 30 minutes or so.
Okay, but I mean, as far as so they'll finish indoors then with the treats and the snacks and so forth.
Yes.
So it sounds very cool.
You know what the beauty of this is? Because I know people are asking.
There's food.
Well, there is food, but the weather is going to be almost perfect for this. It's like highs in the 50s, mid 50s. Saturday and Sunday, and then even now, don't come in your shorts, obviously, but at least it won't be. I mean, this time of year, it could be blowing snow.
Right. This is true.
So the weather, though, is going to be perfect for this deal.
Yeah, we've been praying for good weather for a while, and we're so thankful. It's looking like it's going to be a perfect weather, so we can't thank God enough for that.
Amen. And we're talking with Jonathan Hayashi, you're the pastor at the Northern Hills Baptist Church. Now, when you guys decided to do this thing, how long ago did you begin planning this event?
Yeah, we started talking about this probably early July.
Okay, and at that point, you had roughly 6 months then to get people to raise their hand and volunteer. And how hard was it to get folks to volunteer to be these actors?
Wow, people were just thrilled and excited about the idea. There's This is not a brand new idea, but there hasn't been anything like this done by other churches, at least north of the river in the Northland.
Right.
So people are really thrilled. You know, they've seen maybe a live nativity, but not experienced the journey by walking through the whole thing. So it's not. You get to hear actual accounts of what people are saying. We're reading out of scripture, so so it doesn't feel like you're preached at, but you're walking through it. So it's going to be really neat. I'm really excited. People were excited, and people just kind of dove in and volunteer. It's all hands in deck, and we're just thrilled to welcome thousands of people.
And so,
here. Yeah.
right. I mean, you would anticipate to have that many then, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's exciting. Now, the costumes, I assume folks have made their own costumes and found ways to make them look as realistic and to match the period at the time. Is that kind of what you're understanding?
Yes.
Well, you saw the dress rehearsal, so
yeah. I mean, we've followed as much as possible faithfully, reading the scriptures and researching about it. Even the scrolls that we have, we wrote in the original Old Testament language in Hebrew.
Yeah.
So the scroll is written in Hebrew as well. So yeah, we want people to really experience it, see it, and they're going to be reading out of one of the texts in Hebrew as well.
Wow, very good. People learn different ways, and I think for kids especially, to take a big chunk of the King James Version, even of this story, this gospel story, it's tough I think for younger folks to sort of grasp that kind of language that comes out of even the original Bibles. So I think from the standpoint of people's ability to learn visually and through the experience of this thing, it couldn't be better. Talk a little bit about how you expect this to help sort of spread that gospel message.
Yeah. And it is all about the gospel, right? The good news of Jesus Christ. And we want to do everything we can to spread that good news through words, visually, and helping with every sense from, young to old. We want every single people to hear that, because that's really Jesus is the reason for the season. As we often say. So yeah, we're excited to be able to have every volunteer. We have hundreds of volunteers, hundreds of people put hours and hours and hours into this. And, even last night, people baking cookies as the rehearsal was going and collecting that. But people are just excited about pointing to that gospel, that good news.
So as you're expecting in the thousands, there are, let's see, we've got journeys depart between 5 and 8. So you'll just kind of keep it rolling then for those 3 hours. I'm assuming there's parking accommodations. If everybody drives their own car, I mean, you're going to have 1,000 cars or so to deal with, or more. So you've taken that into account clearly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have all our volunteers who are going to be parking at one of our members' place, and then we'll be having our security team that will be coming in and parking lot and just helping people navigate through in and out. So yeah, we've thought through that, and this is our first year doing it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think we're just ready. We have the space and the parking and everything in order to do it. So yeah, we're just very excited.
How many people are in the actual show, for lack of a better word? How many actors do you have?
Wow. With all the volunteers, with our greeters, security, media production, singing, and so forth, I think we had 100+ people in it. Yeah. And, our congregation size is relevant, but we're about 300.
It's pretty good turnout.
Yeah. So we're really excited that, there's some, people who are in their 70s volunteering and helping. And there's some, like my daughter who's a 6-year-old who's helping. And, it's going to be wonderful.
I think one of the questions might come up, what's the terrain like out there? So if, maybe you're a little older and you don't get around as well, excuse me, is the terrain pretty easy to navigate?
Yes.
I mean, you're not going to be climbing rocks or anything like that.
No, yeah, we have thought through that, because we want, even children and, with strollers to be able to go through it. So we made some path that's easy to kind of walk through and go through it. So yeah, we have navigated through that and to make it accessible for people.
Could you get a wheelchair through it, or would that be kind of tough?
That may be a little difficult, but we have also one other person who's doing videography and kind of going to go from the beginning to the end as well to make it available for those, who are maybe homebound, they're in nursing homes, they're members, but they can't experience it. So we'll make it available online as well.
Is there a way, I'm sure there is, but just to make sure, is there a way at the end where, because I know it's free, is there a way where you can, I liked it, so I want to contribute and donate and see it again next year?
Yeah, there's ways always that, people can feel free. We say tithes and offering. There's a place that people can drop it up. But really, because, God has blessed us so much. He has graced us. In that abundance of the blessing, we want to bless our community to make this available. So we're really not asking anything. We just want this to be a gift, as Christ has become the greatest gift for us during this Christmas season.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And you've got a Facebook page, obviously, and actually this says, or you've got the web page is nhbcweb.org. Did I get that right? There it is. Brian's got it up on the screen right now. So that's North Hills Baptist Church website, and that has further information if they need it, and the Facebook page, which is the Facebook. Just look for North Hills Baptist Church on Facebook, and that'll get you there. And again, this is on December the 11th, which is a Saturday, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, and then Sunday's the 12th, and that's the outdoor journeys are between 5 and 8 p.m. Admission is free, and that's up in Holt, Missouri, 17211 Northeast 180th Street in Holt, Missouri. Where is that? Anything close to it that I can? A guy like me, you can say, just drive. It's over here. It's right by, PP Highway or whatever.
Yeah, it's really just, next to pretty much Jesse James Park.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, right there.
All right. So it's north on, that would be north on 33 then, basically?
That is correct.
Yeah, all right then. So you don't have to go up to PP Highway, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
If you go that far, you've gone too far, right?
That is correct.
All right. Well, I know a little bit of Holt, Missouri, but it doesn't take much, if you've been there twice or time or two. But anyway, so this is very exciting. It's Pastor Jonathan Hayashi at Northern Hills Baptist Church, and this is the Journey to Bethlehem. And we think this is one of the first times that this production has been put on here north of the river, at any church north of the river. We think. We don't have any way of proving it, do we?
Yeah,
If somebody holds our feet to the fire, what happens then?
I don't know, but I'm just excited that we're able to put it together.
I am too. It's very exciting, and I think we'd look forward if it makes me want to go. If that sounds like a thing that it would be, make an appointment, make a date, go, and it just sounds really, really cool. Neat idea, very exciting. Thanks for being with us. Anything else you want folks to know about your church or about this event?
Yeah, I just want to encourage again, just come on out. I think you will not regret it. Just take an opportunity just to welcome, just a great way to celebrate, whether Saturday or Sunday. Both of those days, we want to pack out the parking lot and, come on and enjoy the journey with us. So thank you again for allowing me to be here. This was a lot of fun.
It is our pleasure. Thanks so much. That's Pastor Jonathan Hayashi from North Hills Baptist Church. Thanks so much for being with us. We're going to come back, take a short break. We're going to visit with Kurt Hamilton from the Kearney Enrichment Council. We're going to talk about the parade that's coming up this Saturday evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Making our programming possible on KPGZ are these fine underwriters.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. The world has become fast-paced, and we understand that you are busy. That's why we offer a banking experience that's as simple and stress-free as can be. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. You may just be getting off the ground or ready to move into your brick and mortar building. Kearney Trust will provide you and your business with the resources you need to succeed. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Kearney Live, and early Merry Christmas to all of you. And just to say thank you so much to all of you who are listeners and sponsors. Thank you, Kearney Trust Company, for sponsoring this show. Thanks for believing in us 5 years ago, 6 years ago. How long ago, Brian? 5. He says 5. Well, 5 fingers. He held them up just like that. And
he's like, stop talking.
Right? It is such a pleasure to do this program and be a part of this wonderful community. And at a time like this, you get a chance to sort of reflect on all of the people that we've met, my goodness, and people who have supported the station and been a part of what we do. We have volunteers who make, well, they're volunteers. They make $0.00, but yet I just don't make any sense. I make $1 or $2, but you know what I'm saying? I think you do. Let me tell you something. There's a guy who's going to be on this show in just about 2 seconds that is one of the, I would say, he's a pioneering spirit. He's the kind of guy that until you get a chance to know him, you don't realize what he has already done for the city of Kearney. But when he came in, everybody just said, "Who is this guy?" Well, I'll tell you who he is. It's Kurt Hamilton.
Oh.
It's Kurt, right? Kurt Hamilton. Jim thinks he's a big deal.
I thought you were talking about
I know.
me. I got all excited.
Right, but Kurt Hamilton is a big deal. Right there he is. So right there, the Kearney Enrichment Council, and you've done a terrific job, Kurt, and we've seen it. We're watching you. We're watching you, buddy. So
I believe it.
Don't screw it up.
Yeah, thanks.
So anyway, you're here. We're going to talk about the parade and what an exciting time of year this is, and the weather's going to be great. Tell us about it.
Oh, man. We're here again. I mean, last year we did that reverse parade, and we packed the highway. I mean, all the way to 35, we had cars trying to get into town. So, I mean, this
You're
year,
not lying either.
So this year we're excited again to, get everybody back in town and try to do this all over again. So this is going to be the first year of our Christmas parade in motion. So we're going to be going down the homecoming route. For those of you who don't know, we start on Washington Street, kind of by the feed store and the VFW. We go down Washington, turn right on Prospect, go down that whole street, and kind of end at the middle school. You got to keep it short because it's a little cooler. So,
and there's the map. Brian's got the map up on the screen. That's pretty cool. You can find that map on our Facebook page, 102.7 FM Facebook page. Right, Brian? I think that's where I saw it.
Because if you're listening on the radio, don't try to look at your screen.
Don't do
it's
that.
Not on there.
Keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road.
So I know there's going to be, where is the best, because people are going to ask, where's the best place to park and view this whole thing?
Where do I park?
Right. My biggest recommendation is, if you know where our farmers market is, on the corner of 33 and 92 Highway, in that intersection with the Kearney School District office buildings, I think that's going to be the best place to park, and I'll tell you why. So for those who know, the parade is on, Washington Street, and I'm asking people to walk about 9 blocks right now. But with that magical night component happening for the last 2 hours, the fireworks are going to go off in downtown Kearney, and you're going to have pretty much a front row seat to your car right as you're ending the event to that 8 o'clock fireworks show, kind of behind Kearney Elementary where they used to be. So my recommendation is to park there. There's plenty of parking throughout downtown. The Baptist Church always lets us park there. Fry Funeral Home always lets us park there. Please don't park in front of people's houses. Then people call me. So it's one of those things where be kind to your neighbor and try to find a decent place to park.
Don't park in their driveway, in their lawn.
Every year.
We laugh, but it's been done. So
It is true. I am trying to find the map on our Facebook page, and I keep dipping further and further down on our feed. There it is right there. It was posted on December 4th, and the festivities begin around 6 p.m., right?
6 o'clock's the parade. So
okay, so if you want to get in line, if you want to watch this parade from start to finish, you had better be out of your car and along Washington. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, make sure you're out of that car this year. Don't be waiting in the car on Platte Clay Way wondering if you're going to drive through that thing. Get out of your car, park it somewhere,
I do know. And look at those pictures from last year. It was cold that day.
Yeah,
It
was pretty chilly last year, to see a 50 degrees on the Saturday, forecast. I was pretty excited for that this year.
No doubt about it. Now, 102.7 FM, Jim, if I'm not mistaken, we will be covering this parade. Is that correct?
that is correct, Mike. Actually, we'll be there, and we're going to. I'm going to have to defer to Brian on this. He handles all of Mike's and I's affairs. Okay, so we're doing it on Facebook Live. Is that right?
Yes, we'll do like we do Kearney Live. We'll do it on Facebook Live. We'll do it on YouTube Live also.
Okay.
So what will we be doing actually on there?
That was my next question. And we're going to...
You guys are announcing the parade. You're emceeing the parade.
Much like a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
That's right.
Will there be a big giant turkey?
Yes, and his name is Mike Davis.
I set you up for that. You knocked it right down. That was funny. Well, and yes, it's true. So we will be out there, and it will be simulcast broadcast.
Is it going to be on the radio?
No, we're not putting it on the radio because why put a parade on the radio?
Well, I think in some discussions I made it very
He makes
clear.
a good point, actually.
Mike and I can make anything entertaining, but be that as it may. So if we were going to the parade, what might we see?
Oh, what won't you see? I mean, that's the question. We have a lot of community participation. We always have great, partners and businesses that always jump in. A lot of the same people that were making floats last year, they're here. A lot of those people, remember, we gave away those trophies. So we have 7 people that received trophies, and we have high expectations. So we saw a lot of them returning signups from anything from RVs to, trailers and tractors and Jeeps. If you want to see it, it could be there.
Cousin Eddie was there last year. Is he going to be back?
Cousin Eddie is back. They got a different theme. Hopefully he's wearing a few more clothes.
Wait.
He's on it.
How can Cousin Eddie have a different theme?
Right. I mean, he's a man of many, talents. So we'll be excited to see him in the Parks and Rec department back in action. Mayor Pogue makes sure that our city departments have floats, so you'll see a few of them in action as well.
Do you remember, Kurt, who won the top prize last year, Best of Show?
I don't.
I don't either. We gave them. I'm thinking what I do remember is there were, number one, there were a ton of really clever ones.
That's true.
And but I think the city was the grand. Brian doesn't remember either. I can tell.
No, I think it was. I think it was Ryan at the Parks Department.
Cousin Eddie.
Okay.
Cousin Eddie won at least one of those trophies.
Yes.
I guarantee it because he showed it to me several times since then. So
yes, but we saw there was an antique. It was a fire truck, right?
Yeah,
and it was all lit up, and there was another antique car. There were some other really cool. I mean, just you could tell people went out of their way to really make this. It's just not cars driving through the parade and people in street clothes. Oh, yeah, and we had reindeer. I see them right there.
Oh, reindeer are coming back, so don't worry. So,
well, of course, that they will be there knowing that Santa's there. The reindeer, how do you think he got here?
Exactly.
Right? So, but Santa is terrific. We saw him last year, and you mentioned that, I think, off the air, that the Grinch is going to be there, right?
We have an open invitation policy, and sometimes when you see those signups, you get a little discouraged, but you can't say no to people even if they're green. So, every year he keeps coming back. So I guess we have to let him in.
So how did he sign his name? Did it just say G. Wrench?
It was kind of just like periods, just one after another, because he didn't want to be associated with it. No paperwork.
He put his X on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he didn't know how to write.
Right.
He's an illiterate Grinch. Yes. That's fun, though. That's really exciting. And are we expecting any? Is there parades like marching type parades? Is any of that going on?
I don't think we have any of the band performances in this one.
Right.
But, we have some fun things like we have our senior citizens, for example. So we always do a trolley for this event. We kind of have people go from point A to point B just to help with some of those walking issues. And we're going to fill the trolley this year for the first time with our senior citizens so they can wave and go throughout there. So we have some special touches like that are kind of in addition.
Very cool. Now, I do remember there was, in fact, I saw a picture of the guys from last year, Brian. There was a gentleman that played guitar and another guy that played a percussion instrument, and they sang some Christmas carols. Those guys right there. And in fact, I think they got the Spirit Award. They did. As I recall, yeah. And both of those guys were quite talented. I mean, they played, a good 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, definitely.
Christmas music and everything else.
Yeah. First United Methodist Church has always volunteered to do that. And then, again, they're doing it again. So
cool. All right.
Music this year is going to be outside of City Hall, along with that's where Santa's going to be to take pictures. First time ever. We've always had him at the firehouse, but we're going to keep him outside this year. He's always a little warm with that coat. And he said that he's used to it being in the North Pole. So we're going to keep him outside of City Hall for those pictures.
Okay, and what time would Santa be at City Hall?
So Santa's going to ride in the parade, so you'll see him from 6 to 7. 7 o'clock is when he's going to come up and show up for the mayor's tree lighting. So he's going to say hi to the kids as Randy lights that tree for us to welcome the event.
How much trouble did you have to? Santa's very busy,
right?
Obviously, this time of year. Why did he pick Kearney?
Well, we book him a year in advance every year. So right after the event, right away, I'm one of the lucky ones that have his cell phone number. So it's one of those things where I have that number to the North Pole, and
Santa has a cell phone.
Well,
he's got to stay up with the technology.
It's one of those things where the home lines getting expensive nowadays. So whatever it is to cut costs, so we can buy extra toys.
Nice. All right. All right then.
So will kids be able to sit and visit with Santa?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna have one of our benches outside, so that way we can still take the traditional pictures. We're just gonna keep it outside to, with the procedures of everything going on, it'll make it a little easier to keep peace of mind.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Who else can we expect at this parade? And any other personalities that we might look forward to seeing?
Other than Mike and I.
Right. We've already mentioned the highlight reel, I'm pretty sure. So, Mayor Pogue will be there in full presence, along with some other Board of Aldermen that like to come and show their faces at the event. Expect a lot of your business leaders, in some of those parade floats, waving and being a part of the festivities, along with a lot of your businesses open. We got 18, 20 businesses opening their doors to let people come in and do a free activity, from a craft to making an ornament, giving away hot cocoa, giving away cookies. All kinds of things.
Yeah, I remember, was it 4 years ago when all the businesses were open and they had all the activities? One of the biggest problems was being able to get through all of them and do all that, because there was so much to do. Is it going to be similar to that?
It's even more this year. So the expectation is you probably might not be able to get to all of them. So make a list of which ones you want to hit, because that fireworks show starts at 8, and that's set up for the businesses to kind of get a breath from helping all of these thousands of people kind of walk through their doors.
Okay, so you got the holiday music. Enjoy holiday music from First United Methodist Church. There's a holiday scavenger hunt sponsored by Trash and Treasure.
Yes.
Reindeer activities from Paisley Candle and Home and Paisley Perk. And then you can enjoy a train ride from Clay County Savings Bank, write a letter to Santa at the Kearney Historic Museum, and flower wrap-up at Bees, Flowers, and Gifts. I'm not sure what that is, but it sounds very festive. And here's a good one right here. Decorate a cookie at the Creamery.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah. People used to linger there a little bit. So
I know.
it's a line sometimes. I don't know what it is about it.
I'll admit I linger there. I'm hoping someone will drop something because I'll eat it right off the floor. I
You're
don't
right.
care.
Yeah, Jim has a 5-minute rule.
Well, it's more like 20. And you might see me on my hands and knees crawling. Just ignore me and go on with your cookie thing.
Throw him a crumb.
Well, some of those stops, I mean, there's more being added. Like on that map, you know, we have our friends at Precision Chiropractic. They always have the whole Frozen set up there as well. So we even have an updated map with some of those new people joining into the fun already.
I see that. I see a Christmas craft. It says Adjusted for Life Family Chiropractic, Fulfillment House, Three Birdies Boutique, I can barely read this. It says single-handedly Liz.
Yeah.
Yes.
For people that know her business, it's next to kind of Mojo's and Zora right now. She's kind of moving into the old John Henry business, kind of on Washington Street. So she's kind of going to display that.
Very cool.
So all kinds of stuff.
And Turnkey Realty is on here. And, of course, Firehouse Community Center, Nelson Home Group, State Farm, Stella Spiking, Mid-Continent Public Library here in Kearney. Lots of great sponsors. Lots of people that just stood up and said, hey, we want to help.
Oh, yeah. And the city of Kearney, I mean, they're the biggest one. They make not only a financial contribution, but they always get everybody excited for it. So, I mean, you can thank your city for making sure that this event always runs forward.
Now, sorry, Jim.
Where's the band?
Well, the band is the holiday music from the two guys that we showed earlier.
I know, but the high school band.
I know. I was kind of... Come on, I'm just going to sound a little disappointed.
It's only year 2, so I mean, we can't give you all the bells and the whistles right at the beginning. We got to work towards some of these things. If we're doing Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, we got to get there. So I mean, give us a few years, and you'll have something to remember.
let me tell you something.
Well, no, I'm fully. I think we're going to have something to remember on Saturday.
No doubt about it.
No question about that.
Hey, we did this. Brian and I were up there last year. Jim was out of town, but Brian and I, and it was a ball. We've got video of this thing from last year, and you can just tell people were having a great time. It was in the middle of the COVID nonsense, and I mean, it was just absolutely refreshing to be a part of this thing that evening. It was kind of chilly,
right?
But you could tell everyone was having a terrific time.
But you know what my tip for the day is, and I remember this, even though I wasn't there last year, get there early.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people, even when we were doing it 4 years or 3, whenever that was, man, if you weren't there early,
that's true.
People come out of the woodwork for this thing. So,
right.
My tip for the day: don't show up at what time does it start?
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5:58. You want to be there early.
All right, Kurt. We've got Kurt Hamilton in here. Kurt Hamilton is with the Kearney Enrichment Council, and you're kind of spearheading this thing, right? I mean, you're helping to.
Well, it's not just me.
I get it.
So, I mean, we have a great team and committee. Penny Frick, she actually is the real brainchild of the parade, and she really does a great job of leading it. She works at our school admin building, and she's amazing. We gave her a trophy bigger than everybody else's because she earned it twice as much. So, I mean,
I see what you did there.
She's one of those volunteers that really knock it out of the park every year, along with, we have staff as well with some of our people that, help with our community events. So it really takes more than just me. I'm usually the guy that either gets the credit or the criticism for some of these things. So,
well, you did a great job last year. Now, you said that you thought there were 5,000 people last year. Did you tell me that?
4,000.
4,000.
So we'll take 1,000 off just to be safe.
All right. So I exagerated a little bit.
We appreciate
that.
I'm
inclined to do that.
Right.
But nonetheless, how did you sort of come up with that number?
We always do a good job of trying to take an old school clicker and try to click through some of those things. But you can also guess we had plenty of cars that ran through. Each car has about 5 to 6 people in it because they like to cram them in for some stuff like this.
Sure.
So, and we gave away 500 goodie bags last year with the businesses not being able to participate. We gave those away in about an hour. So, with 500 cars passing through that first hour alone and having it for another hour or two, we had a pretty good guesstimation that, and once you shut down the highway, usually you get a gold star and at least an extra few hundred people there. So it makes it pretty easy to kind of do some estimates for some of these events.
Yeah, so there's some science behind this, clearly. And listen, I heard that last year, and I thought, there's no way there were that many people there.
Right.
But
that reminds me, because the city always asks us to say this. So in all seriousness, when it comes fireworks time, please do not stop on the highway, because people don't even get on the shoulder, if I recall. they don't want you up there stopping on the highway.
Who does
Please.
that?
That is correct.
They do it every year. Please don't do that. Keep motoring on.
Believe it or not, you can see those fireworks from a lot of places here, and with them being shot off in the middle of downtown Kearney, you really can see them from the high school. We had people mention that last year that they saw them easily there. I was standing behind DeCreamery's building, and I still saw them shot off pretty easily. So if you're anywhere along the route of where these businesses are participating, you'll be able to see them. So don't pull over, use some common sense when we're coming to some of these things, because it takes a whole village of people to help be the participation, because we got 20 or 40 volunteers stretched throughout the whole thing.
Takes a whole village and a village idiot.
And that's why I'm here. I'll admit it. I'm the idiot. Welcome.
What can we expect? Anything new in the way of floats that you might have like an inside scoop on, anything that we didn't see last year, or some upgrades of existing floats? Do you know anything that you can share with us?
There's a little bit. So with, the reindeer and Santa, I will share, usually you see Santa in the front of some of these parades because he kind of welcomes people and he has places that he needs to go. As we know, he's busy. But we have ours going last, and I know the reindeer farm is going to have something a little bit special at the end of the parade. So if you see, if you haven't seen Santa yet, make sure that you stay through that whole parade, because we got a little surprise at the end.
That is so cool. Now I got to be there. Well, I'm going to be there anyway.
Flying reindeer?
That's what I'm thinking. What if they did?
You never know.
Well, they do.
Well, of course I do.
But
yes, I've heard them up on the rooftop. Click, click, click.
Yeah, but I thought part of the deal was you weren't supposed to see the reindeer fly. It's kind of the hidden.
Well, that's some communities, and for this community, it's one of those things where we like to make sure that if there's things that people want to see, we see them.
By the way, Santa, the one and only, this going to be at this parade, is amazing.
He's
right.
He's great.
You know what I'm talking about. He is just amazing.
He always does a great job of making sure that our Kearney community is welcomed, and all of our kids always have a great time getting to visit with him.
He does. We had him in studio last year for a call-in program on Kearney Live, and he's even good on radio.
Oh, man. It sounds like he's coming back, too.
That's what I understand, yeah. So it's very exciting, and just a big... Look at that guy right there.
There he is.
And that's my grandson. Isn't that awesome? Looky there. That's Lucas. Yep. That is awesome. Who's that?
That looks like Mike.
Yeah, it looks like I've gained a little weight even since then. So, wow. All right. Thanks for that picture, Brian. So, there's a reason that I won't let him shoot the camera anywhere below chest level. So, a little too much Christmas turkey or something.
You know how we end up like that is because we go over to the cookie thing. And
exactly right. And
so is there going to be any other food at this deal?
There's a hot cocoa bar, thanks to Nelson Home Group, that'll be in the firehouse. So this is why we did this, though. We designed it so they're at two different buildings, so you have to walk at least across the street to burn off a little bit of calories as you go from treat to treat.
It's going to take me a lot longer than that. We got a better start now.
Exactly.
Take me into spring. But now, okay, so will there be anything open in your building over there?
So we're gonna use the firehouse. We always have our small mall fundraiser, so kids have the opportunity to shop for their parents, and they can wrap the gift so mom and dad don't know really what they're getting.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
It's a $5 donation for that. That's the only cost actually for the whole event. The rest of it is free, and that's an optional thing if you want to do that at the firehouse. But there's also Stella Spiking. She's going to have a photo booth, so you can take a family picture as you wait for kids to shop at the small mall. Along with Mid-Continent Library is going to do a nice little ornament craft, and then the hot cocoa bar that's kind of going to be in the kitchen. So we have 4 activities actually crammed into the firehouse for it.
That is fantastic. Now, yeah, and I do remember we can't remember, Jim. Things are hard for us to remember, but I think it was 3 years ago when we were inside the firehouse. That's when we first met the Grinch. And remember, we saw a steady, you don't remember at all, I can tell by the look on your face, but we saw a steady stream of parents with their kids, and I can't remember if that was a small mall or if they were there to see Santa. Do you remember?
Yeah, Santa used to be in the jail cell, actually. We used to have him, and then next door to him in the jail cell was the Grinch actually locked up. So That's the way we used to do. We were able,
That's right.
but now with the event getting too big, we have volunteers stretched. We always don't get we can't always lock the Grinch up in the sale. So now he's just floating around at the event causing havoc.
He was running amok
Exactly.
last year. I saw that.
He doesn't usually visit the cookie station, so it sounds like you guys will be at least okay there. But for the rest of the businesses, be warned.
Good thing.
Oh man! And weather report, Jim. Do you know what the weather's going to be?
I did talk to our staff over at the Weather Center, and they said that it's going to be about 50 degrees
Right.
and dry, so it'll be perfect for this. Because I do remember last year, I remember you guys, it was pretty cold, and even 2, 3, whatever year we were talking about, it was chilly then, but it's going to be great.
I think last year I saw a lot of volunteers huddling by the Remax fire. They did that nice puff of flame as a kind of a part of their parade.
It's a hot air balloon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see that again in the parade, and it's going to be hard to keep volunteers away from that again, as it was a little warm-up station.
Yeah, I like it. So exciting. And Brian, are those pictures up somewhere where the from last year's parade where folks can see them or not?
Well, yeah, they're on our Facebook page, but you have to scroll back a whole year to go find them.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Well, we invite you to do that if you have time.
Yeah, because I was actually trying to remember who won the overall. I ran out of time looking for it.
I'm thinking it was the city because they had the little the finger light up gloves that were so cool.
It might have been, yeah.
Or maybe it was. I don't know.
I don't remember.
There's too many good entries to remember.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a good question. What kind of entries do you have to win this year?
We have the same kind of awards that we did last year with most community spirit, most bulldog spirit, most festive, most creative, things like that. So we have a lot of people, and we don't share those awards ahead of time. That way we keep our parade entries on their toes. But, it's up to, our community. And I think you'll hear some of the crowd, cheer and chant for some of the people that they're really excited about seeing.
Is there a way I could win best cookie design? In other words, I could go down, make a cookie over at the Creamery and win?
There's some smaller trophies that I've seen people order for people. And if we need to get kind of a micro scale one of those, we can talk about that after the show.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I can't help myself. 102.7 will be there broadcasting the parade, I guess. Well, we have a public address system, Brian, so it'll be, we talk about the Macy's parade. I mean, that's a heavy lift for just a couple of slugs like me and Jim, right?
Kurt's taking care of the PA.
Okay,
so
good.
We're good on that one.
Okay, so here's a question. So where's the review booth stand? Whatever they call it.
Where will we be seated?
You'll be outside of City Hall. So I mean, we get you some prime parking kind of in the middle of the parade, so that way people have time to warm up, and you'll be around all those friends and community members on Washington Street. They'll keep you straight. Don't worry about that.
Is Mayor Pogue going to be in his purple tux?
I don't know, what he's going to be wearing that night. He hasn't disclosed that information to me yet.
It's always a surprise, isn't it?
It is,
He's probably pretty mad right about now that I even brought that tux thing up again.
And we got that donation for the splash pad, so we appreciate that. So he honored that on that side of it as well. So
he's a good man. I want to thank the Kearney, Missouri Police Department as well, because they're going to. Somebody's got to watch the traffic.
And same with the fire department.
Right.
They're going to have EMS on standby just to make sure, with these big public events getting bigger and bigger each year, our fire department and our police department always do a great job of jumping into the fun, just like Oktoberfest, and they're always there to make sure that everything works well.
Is the sheriff's office going to be there as well, Clay County Sheriff?
Yes.
So,
that is the plan.
Thanks to the sheriff's office.
All the law enforcement and first responders and folks that are looking out for us while we're having a good time. Now, I will say, though, last year, I remember each of the police officers that I saw, and we took pictures of the guys, and they always smiled and waved. You could tell they were having a great time.
off-duty cops, I mean, and, off-duty officers for the fire department as well. I mean, everybody, they're doing it because they care. They're not doing it because they have to, and we really appreciate, them taking the extra effort and giving up a Saturday to spend it with us instead of their families to really be a part of these big community events.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, and that's Kurt Hamilton. He is the, what is your role over at the Kearney Enrichment Council?
I'm the executive director.
Oh, my gosh, that's a very, very important position. Listen to that, you're executive. And the director. I mean, so yeah, you make things happen.
That's I do a little bit of everything is a good title.
Yes.
You actually, I mean, you little side note here, you've done a tremendous job
no doubt
ever
about
since
it.
you come in with the, I mean, not only the organization as a whole, but the whole thing with the van and then someone stole stuff off the van, and then you had to replace that. But the parade and everything else that you've developed, great job over there.
We appreciate it.
That is really. I remember when it kind of started, it was just a little hole-in-the-wall thing over there. It's really a huge deal now.
Well, we got a couple of big things coming in 2022 that we'll share soon. So we got things on our horizon that are even better for our community that we are excited to jump into.
Very exciting. Great to hear. And Kurt, thank you so much for being with us. Come back anytime.
Oh, we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Seriously. We look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Yeah, we'll all be there in our best dressed.
So get over there, 6 p.m., December 11th, 6 to 9 p.m., Kearney's Magical Night. That's right. And it's a parade, it's Santa, it's the Grinch. It's everything you could possibly hope for to celebrate Christmas here in Kearney, Missouri. Thanks so much for being with us. What's going on next week, Brian? Do you care?
We have Marla McBride coming in.
Marla McBride? Holy mackerel. I just saw her the other day
at
the football banquet.
That's
wow.
Right.
Well, we look forward to speaking with her. Great. I had no idea.
Yes. Well, you should have. It's on your calendar.
Yeah, well, who looked at the calendar?
Right.
In any case, thank you so much for being with us. Kurt, thank you. Yeah. And by the way, don't forget the... Gosh, I'm losing track of where I was. Remember the Northern Hills Baptist Church and Pastor Jonathan Hayashi. I got that right the first time. I barely didn't get it right that time. But all that to say is they've got a very cool Journey to Bethlehem going on over at their church in Holt, Missouri. Don't forget about it. December 11th and 12th. Very cool live experience to really sort of experience the birth of Jesus. Thank you so much for being with us. We will see you next week on Kearney Live. We love you so much.